So that's preparing. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. Give me one more. I'm going to do live. No, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to have to get to fix that. Okay, so then the other thing I'm going to do is record, and I'm going to record on my computer. Okay, hold on before you get started. Um, okay, okay, there you are. All right, we can get started now. Okay, Jill. So hi, Jill.
Hello. Hi, I'm
Welcome
so happy
back.
I'm able to be on here now.
Welcome back. So tell us before we get started. So I know you've been away for a while. So tell us about some of your experience. So you've been to, is it North Carolina or South Carolina or?
Yeah, my South Carolina is where my daughter lives, and I'm going to get ready to go there again in a few weeks. She lives, it's real close to North Carolina,
Yeah.
so it's maybe 30 minutes from the airport
Okay.
in
So
Charlotte.
you're spending time taking care of those grandbabies?
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. They both had birthdays recently, so I've got to get over there.
All right. So
Yeah.
what is the occasion the next time, your next visit? Are you going to just spend time with her or are you just still going to enjoy family?
Just going to see family, and they've got a vacation planned in Tennessee, so they wanted me to come with them because they're renting a house. So
Okay.
this will be something different. I've never done this before, but I figured I better try to get there if they're going to go to all the expense of taking me with them.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you're able to enjoy that, enjoy those
But
few
Ella
hours.
and Grace are both 5 and 9 now.
They are 5 and 9.
Yeah,
Gosh, it's
yeah.
been that long. It makes me think how old I am.
Evan and Chase are 23 and 25.
Oh, I know, I know, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy those babies. Keep in contact with us. Got to keep up with what you're doing. And so tell us a little bit about what you're going to be demonstrating today. Is this going to be your own recipe? Did you design this recipe? Did you find it somewhere and add to it? And how did you get this recipe, basically?
Well, originally the way I got this recipe was through a friend of mine. Her name is Janice High.
Mhm.
I know you've heard me talk about her, and I think you've met her before, haven't you, Jackie?
I have, yes.
Yeah, so she's the friend that turned me on to raw food many, many years ago, around 2000, 2001.
Mhm.
And this recipe is one especially that I liked. And mine is a little bit different than what hers is, but she is the one that introduced me to onion bread.
Okay.
Um, and it's actually raw onion bread because it's been dehydrated lower than 118 degrees.
Lower than
So
118 degrees.
makes it raw, yes, because it still has all of its enzymes and
Okay.
and
Yeah.
health
And
properties
you're
in it.
doing that in your dehydrator? Is that where you're making
Yes,
it?
that's where it ultimately goes is to the dehydrator, and I put it on depending on how quick I need it, 105 to 115. I like to do a lot on 105 because it's slower process, but it I think it the lower it is the better.
Okay.
But when I need it quicker, I just put it no higher than 115,
No higher than 115. But in
115
order to
degrees.
keep it raw, you put it at 118 and lower,
And
correct?
lower, 118
And
and lower, that's correct.
okay, good. And at that point, how long does it take for your bread to prepare? Let's say 115. How long is it going to take? You're going to leave it in your dehydrator.
It's a little bit wet, so overnight, and then you flip it and take the paper off, or the part not it may be parchment paper depending on what you're using. I use Taflex sheets. Um, but anyway, you take the sheets off and then you dry the other side for another maybe 3 hours or so after that.
Okay.
So I would say it's a good 10, 12 hours for the
Okay.
drying process. But you
Yeah.
don't really have to do anything for that. It just, once you turn it on, it just goes by itself.
Yeah. But you
So
do turn it the next day. If you do it overnight, you're going to get up the next morning and turn it to the,
turn
and then you're going to let it maybe stay in the dehydrator about 3 more hours.
it about 3 more hours.
Okay.
Usually we'll dry it the rest of the way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good.
And
How would you
then,
go on?
oh, I was going to say you cut it or you score it
Yeah.
so that it has big, and I make bigger chunks so you can use it more for like a bread. It's a flat bread.
Yep. Yep.
You
Yep.
can use
Yep.
it for a little sandwich or something like that. or just
Yeah.
eating along with whatever you're eating. It's a good addition.
Yeah. Okay. What would you estimate? Let's say a family of four was making this bread. What would you estimate that to cost them?
Well, the main expense would be the buckwheat. Buckwheat's, I got a bag of buckwheat here that I made already. So this had to go through a soaking process and sprouting. Um, but it would take about 4 cups of buckwheat, and that would probably be about, I'm trying to think how much that weighs, a couple, 3 pounds maybe. And
Okay.
buckwheat can cost anywhere from like $5 or more a pound.
Okay.
So, and that's enough, I mean, for everybody to have some and last a little while. For a family of four, that'd probably be fine.
Would you use that entire bag of buckwheat for a family of four?
I would. This is about 4 cups, maybe a little more even. I'd go ahead and use the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Now I heard you
The
say,
recipe calls for
okay,
four big onions,
okay,
and I like the sweet onions. They taste a little bit better, I think, for something like this. So
okay.
you have 4 onions. Um, you can use the buckwheat or you can use sunflower seeds. Actually, the last ones I made were with sunflower seeds. And so, but buckwheat works really well too because it's kind of has a little glue to it, kind of like flaxseed does.
Yeah, yeah,
Helps
okay,
hold things together. And I've got some. I also have some flaxseed here that I already ground up.
okay,
I can show you that. And this is another part of it that I add this to it. And
okay.
this is probably about a cup of the flaxseed
About a
that's
cup of
used.
flaxseed ground,
Mm-hmm.
and
And you
then you
have
grind it in your coffee maker, your coffee grinder, not your coffee
yeah,
maker. Do you?
you can do it in the Vitamix.
Or can you? Okay. But
Yeah.
let's say someone don't have a Vitamix. They could probably purchase a coffee.
Yes. They can
What's
use
it
a coffee
called?
grinder. A coffee
A coffee
grinder.
grinder. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that will work too. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Sister Shanine has her hand up. She has a question.
okay.
No, I was going to say I get an organic buck buckwheat flour on Amazon. Actually, it's a giant. It's like a 25 pound bag, reasonably. So per pound, it's not. And I leave it in the refrigerator. Keep like the whole bag in the refrigerator. I
Hmm.
just use it as needed. So you could buy it, like that as well if you're making it. And then
Sure.
can you store the bread? That was my question. Like once you make it, does it hold well if you were to freeze it or you want to put it in the fridge? How long would it last?
You can freeze it. It's better if it's consumed within the first 3 days of making it. Raw food
Okay, good to
typically
know.
lasts about 3 days refrigerated. Um, yeah,
Okay.
you could freeze it.
Yeah.
It won't be quite, maybe
All
not
right.
quite as good as it would be when you're making it
True,
originally.
because it is a raw food, which is good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Have
all
all
it's
these
going to
ingredients. I'm
last.
gonna go make this.
I know.
The
It-
dehydrating actually, if you dehydrate it, it is going to last longer than 3 days.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm just thinking that's without dehydrating. Anything that's raw, usually a 3 day.
Yeah.
But I mean, this could last a couple of weeks, 3 weeks maybe,
Got it. Yeah, because it's dehydrated. Right. Okay.
because it's been dehydrated. If you dehydrate it in completion, some people don't dehydrate it all the way if they want it softer. It's going to be a little crunchier the more you dehydrate it. So it depends on what you want for your consistency, but just remember if it's not completely dehydrated and it's just a little soft, it may go bad quicker than the crunchier.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Except if she frees it, then of course if she frees it, that
If you
she
freeze
would do.
it, yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be better if you freeze it.
Yeah. Did I hear you say that you sprouted your buckwheat? Or did
Yes,
no? You did? And
yes.
tell me how you did that and how many days when you say you sprouted it.
Well, the first day I soak it, you rinse it really well, and then you soak it overnight in some water. And usually you put 3 times as much water that you're soaking it in versus how much buckwheat you're using. So if you're doing a large amount like this, it can be quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um, so then you soak it overnight, and then the next day, buckwheat works. It does work pretty fast. So Um, the next step would be to sprout it. So you'd rinse it really well after the soaking overnight, and then you would put it in a container to sprout. And you can use anything from colander,
Hmm.
which I like because the colander has holes in it and it'll make it so it breathes really well and
Yeah.
you have less spoilage.
Hmm.
Sometimes when people are first learning how to do sprouting, it's best to try it with a colander because that that will allow it to breathe more. The air will be going through it better and it'll keep it from spoiling if you miss a rinsing because you need to make sure you're rinsing it at least 3 times a day.
How many days did you do that for?
Let's see, the first day I did sprouting for one whole day, 24 hours, and then the next day I was done with that because it sprouts quickly. It already had tails. So you have
Okay.
to kind of watch it and see because you
Yeah.
might have a different type of buckwheat that's maybe
Yeah.
older or something.
Yeah.
And so if it sprouts really quickly with little tails, that's all you have to wait for.
Yeah.
If you
So
want to
it's
sprout it longer, you can.
yeah. Yeah. And the sprouting activate the enzymes in it. It actually brings more life back into the buckwheat itself. And
Yes.
it gets more nutrient. And I think the other thing about sprouting and things like that is that it's gentler on your, especially for people that have, because buckwheat it is gluten free. It is considered it is gluten free.
It
But
is.
then it also, for those people that may have, I want to say that have stomach issues or even diseases, that
Mhm.
sprouting is going to help it to digest easy,
Yes.
yeah, and with less irritation to that, yeah, to those areas, like those that have colitis or any of those. What's some of the other, there's several different diseases, stomach, stomach
Yeah, a
issues.
lot of stomach issues
Yeah,
can be cleared up by using sprouted food instead of just eating it
yeah,
straight because it's just easier on your stomach.
it is. Yeah,
Digestion, it's easier for your digestion. Of course, taking probiotics is good for that too.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I don't think I have. Does anyone have any more questions? I think that you can get us started if you're ready and demonstrate the bread.
Okay, first of all, I use these, you can see they're quite large, the onions. This one I've peeled, this one I've not. And you don't have to cut it up a lot. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the food processor. Um, so it's a little easier than the using where you have to use the plunger on the food, the
Yeah,
Vitamix. You can do it with both though, if you
yeah,
don't have this machine.
yeah,
But you need some type of machine that's really going to blend it up well.
yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these in quarters. Actually, they're so big I might cut them right down the middle too. See more. You want some chunks of these onions, and let's hope I don't cry.
No. Fresh onions, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got the onion chopped up here, some nice big chunks of it, as you can see. And I've got some garlic that I peeled as well.
That's a sweet onion, a sweet white onion, or sweet yellow, sweet white onion.
It's the sweet onions, yes. The sweet yellow onion.
Okay.
Yeah, those are really yummy. And so what
Yeah.
else I'm going to use for this demonstration is, of course, some salt. And this one's real salt that I have here.
Hmm.
I like to use either that or Celtic salt, or there's another one too, the Himalayan salt is another good salt that has more minerals in it. That's why I like those so well. And then there's the cumin using for the. You don't necessarily have to though, because honestly, it's so good just with the garlic and the onions and the buckwheat and the flax. That's the ingredients that we have today.
Yeah,
And just the onion itself makes it taste really good. I do
it
add some
does.
salt, but not too much.
Jill
So,
sent me some bread in the mail. It was wonderful. She sent me onion bread.
yeah, that's right. I did send you some of this, so you've already had it, huh? But not the
Yeah,
buckwheat. I think the one I sent you was made with sunflower seeds.
yeah. I'm gonna try with the buckwheat. If we look at the nutrient profile of the onions, they are rich in antioxidants. And because of how the onion is going to, so in the cooking process, by it being dehydrated, you're going to retain a lot of the nutritional values of the onion. So it's rich in antioxidants. It may help protect against chronic diseases. And onions also contain a prebiotic, which promote good gut health.
Hmm.
Um, and they have been shown to reduce sweet onions have been shown to reduce blood sugars, lower correct cholesterol, improve heart health, boost the immune system, and fight inflammation.
Uh,
Um, yeah,
they're
so those,
really, really good for sulfur too, for your hair and for your
yeah,
skin.
they are a sulfur
High
food.
in sulfur, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Sulfur rich foods.
this is the food processor, and it's pretty simple. It just has an on and off button, so anybody can do it. And I'm just gonna put these chopped up onions in here now.
Yeah. While Jill is doing that, sulfur-rich foods contain essential minerals and compounds to contribute to various bodily functions, like including detoxification, tissue repair, and immune health. And we're going to get a little bit more into that when we launch our next session, Sister Shawnee. We especially as we prepare, because we think that detoxing is a regular talk is just maybe in a special time, but detoxing should be done on a daily basis. And the way to do that is to include sulfur-rich foods like onions and garlic, and there's a whole list of sulfur foods that are really, really beneficial for your body's natural detoxing process. So what are you doing now, Jill?
Well, I've got these garlic. I'm gonna put the garlic in here along with the onion. And I'm getting ready to put some of this in here too, the buckwheat. Can you see that? Well, how the buckwheat looks.
Now that is your
And this is all sprouted buckwheat.
Denise, go on. Denise has a question. Go on, Denise.
I'm sorry, I may have missed the answer already, but does it matter what type of onion? Is it yellow Spanish onion? I know it's not the purple red onion, but the white onion. Is there a difference in what onion you choose to utilize?
You
There
can use
is.
any onion you want, you prefer, but I like the sweet onion because it gives it a really nice flavor.
And that's the
So I
thing.
mean, you can use I've used other onions before with it, but I just chose the sweet onion.
Okay, I wasn't sure if there's a particular type of onion. Thank you.
Well, the sweet onion just has a little sweeter flavor than the other.
Yeah. And actually, I am gonna do a presentation on onions because there are some differences in onions. And their
Yeah.
onions, depending upon, like, red onions will pair differently with foods. In fact, I think that that's helpful to know too as we begin to cook exactly, and then just regular white onions. So there are times, depending upon the flavor that you're trying to um, get. For instance, red onions, I like to eat them more raw in salads because of their boldness, and sometimes I think they can be a little sweet.
Okay, I'll
Um,
be right back.
okay,
You eat raw onions, Sister Jackie?
huh?
You said you eat raw onions?
Yes, in my salad. Yeah, red onions. I love red onions. If I
Well, in
have a
salad,
veggie,
yeah.
huh?
In salad, that's the only time I eat them raw,
Oh, do
is in
you?
salad.
Oh, I put them on my veggie burger when I eat the red. I cut up red raw onions. Yes. When I want more
Okay.
savory, when I want the sweetness of an onion, that's when I use the yellow sweet onion. So I do have,
Okay.
but there is an entire, I'm going to do a presentation on the different variety of onions, their benefit, and it also identifies what they pair well with. So
That
Jill,
would
how
be
much
great. And can you add shallots in that too, please, Sister Jackie?
Okay, I will. I'll add
Thank
shallot. Hey Jill, how much so I just saw you put, so how many cups of the buckwheat did you put in?
Well, this my food processor won't hold all of it at once, so I've only put about two cups
Okay.
of that in so far. And I put two of the, not quite two of the onions, because you saw how big those onions were.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
Did you
huge.
just do one onion?
Yeah, probably one and a half
One
of
and a
those
half. Okay.
so far. And
And then the
then
flax. Go on.
to make a full recipe, I'll have to do this twice, but I'm only going to do it
Yeah,
once for the sake of time here on the show.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, I just added the salt, which was a teaspoon,
What
and I
so
put the
teaspoon of salt.
flaxseed in
What about how much flax flax
about a
powder
cup.
did you? A
Yeah,
cup of flax milk. Okay, great.
about a cup of flax meal. Yeah, that's been
Okay.
ground.
Brown flax. Uh-huh.
It does, it becomes bigger when you grind it up.
Yeah.
And I put the garlic, the 4 garlic cloves in there.
The pork garlic cloves. Garlic is another sulfur food.
That's
Sulfur
true. Yeah,
rich.
it's
Yeah.
full of sulfur. It'll really help your hair.
Yeah.
That's what I like about sulfur.
And immune system. Can you think because you're basically eating your right, even though it doesn't taste raw to you, they're
Mhm.
still at a process. The way it's being processed, they are still considered raw. So you're getting the full benefit of the sulfur-rich food benefit that from immune system boosters to all the nutrients and minerals that they have. And yes, sulfur-rich foods are good for skin, hair, nails, and they are also good for the for your body's natural detoxification process.
Yes. And I'm going to put a tablespoon of cumin in here.
Tablespoon of cumin. Oh, that's so good. Oh,
I love cumin.
I
I
do too.
decided I'm going to use it. You don't have to in this recipe. You don't have to because it'll still be good even if you don't use it.
Yeah,
But cumin adds some spice and it also adds some nutrients.
yeah.
So that's all we have to do so far. Now I just put the lid on here. This is a pretty simple machine. Just one click, it's on. One hit on the on button. Now you might want to mute me if you don't want to hear all the noise, but it's not quite as noisy as the Vitamix.
You're going to do that for approximately how long?
I just kind of watch it until it starts coming together. And
Okay.
then if it has a little trouble coming together, then I add some water. I'll probably add a little bit of water to this.
And when you add your water, are you adding tablespoons or are you going to do like a half a cup or?
Usually I do well, this is only 2 cups of it, so I'll probably do a half a cup.
Okay.
Let me see I don't think I wrote that down on the recipe, but yeah, hold on one second. I'll get a half a cup measure.
And another thing that I do that, something to think of, and I'll ask Jill when she come back. I've never used it. You know what? One of the things I was thinking of, Jill, while you're doing that, is that aquafaba. Is that what? Yeah, aquafaba, and that is the juice off of your
Garbanzo beans, yeah.
your bonza bean. That could be something to good that you want to add instead of the water. So you can look at the variations like that. We've never tried it. So how would you think with how if we use aquafaba instead of water, what do you think it would probably still be the same? Or what are your thoughts, Jill?
You mean as far as the consistency or?
Consistency. So instead of water, you would use the aquafaba. Let's say that you would use a half a cup of that instead of water.
I think it would be probably pretty similar, as
Yeah.
long as you have the
Yeah,
liquefied.
it would be. That's what it is. That's the liquid off of the garbanzo beans. Yeah. Yeah, that would be like your substitute liquid. And I think of that because there's so many nutrients still in the aquafaba. But go on, Jill.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about aquafaba, how healthy it is or anything. I know some lifestyle centers they don't use they skim off that part of what cooks off the beans. But I have heard what Jackie said that it can add some nutrients as well. But
Why did
and you
they
can
take it
get
off of the beans?
yeah, yeah. I know of a lifestyle center that they teach people to skim the. It's kind of like whipped cream, not whipped cream, but what would you call that? Like that on the beans.
Oh
When you
yes,
cook
that's for
it,
all beans. Yeah, that's all beans. You're gonna skim that white because as they cook, there's a white foam that
yeah,
appear at the top.
fine, that's a
So
good
yes,
word.
you skim that off. But the aquafaba is the actual liquid that it's the liquid of the chickpea.
Okay, the liquid part's probably fine.
Yeah, that's what aquafaba is, the actual liquid.
It's
Yeah.
the stuff they skim off that they say is not, they say that's where
Right.
the
You're gonna skim
toxins
that
are.
off. Yep. Yep.
Mhm. So yeah, as long as you're using it as water, I mean, it should be just fine to use it.
Yeah. All
Unless you're
right.
trying to keep it all raw, and if that's the case, then you probably wouldn't use it.
Right. Yeah. If it
If
was
you're
raw, you
trying to
wouldn't.
use it raw. So I'm going to turn this on again. So I want to get this all blended up so you can see.
Probably any food processor that you have would work for this.
It's starting to move now. I'm going to get a spoon so I can stir it.
Okay. This is so economical. It's something I think that, and again, maybe some alternatives too. We can get some alternatives that if people don't have buckwheat, maybe some other healthier alternatives. I know Jill said you use the sunflower. Was it sunflower seeds? And the ones that you sent me, were those sunflower seeds, Jill? Those you use sunflower seeds and the ones you sent me?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
When I made it to send you, it was made of sunflower seeds.
they were so good. They were
Mm.
just so, so good.
Yeah, this is the buckwheat one. So I'm curious to see how this will turn out because the ones I
Yes.
made earlier were sunflower as well.
Also, the sunflower seeds, you also sprouted those. Jill sprouts everything. Look
Yeah,
at
this
that
needs
texture.
to be blended a little more.
So can you show us the consistency? Can you show us
Yeah,
that?
let me blend it just a little bit more and I'll see if I can get more of the chunks
Okay.
ground up and then I'll show it to you. And put it on mute.
It's not that bad from a sound perspective. It's not that bad. She put it on mute. You can see the centers, the ingredients coming together. I can see that right there in the center, and they're blending as they continue. You see less of that center as it is. Yeah, and then she's stirring it. You're on mute, Jill. You're on mute.
Okay, so this is what it looks like so far.
Okay.
Kind of
Is
like
that the
batter.
consistency it should be when we get done? It should be at that consistency?
Yeah, it's kind of like pancake batter.
Okay.
It's a little more,
That
well, it
looks a
doesn't
little
have
bit
to
more
be
thicker than
completely
pancake
smooth.
batter to me. That's a little bit more thicker.
Well, that's what I mean. It's thicker than that. It doesn't have to be that smooth and that thin,
Okay. Okay.
but it's kind of works like that where you just take a big glob of it. See, that's pretty smooth for this. But you
Yeah.
still, having a little bit of the onions in this is fine. It doesn't have to be real smooth.
Right.
So the next thing that we do after getting it all mixed up is you want to get it in the dehydrator, unless you live out where it's really hot and you can just lay it outside. So I've got a tray here, and on the tray I have a Taplex sheet. And so it's kind of like a plastic in a way, but it's not plastic. it's good to have these, or you can have parchment paper if you don't have tape flex sheets.
Yeah.
And with the parchment paper, you can replace them. And these are nice. You can clean them really well. So I'll show you how I do this. I hope you can see it. Okay, so here's the tray, and I just scoop up like a big scoop of that,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to put about 3 or 4 big globs right on the pan here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Would you put all that mixture on that sheet, one sheet, or no?
everything I made, no, it won't go on one sheet. That's
But what
probably
about
about
a thicker
2
bread?
sheets.
Let's say I wanted a thicker bread.
What did you say?
What if I wanted a thicker bread?
Oh, a thicker bread. Yes, then you could use more and just leave it thicker. But
Yeah.
just keep in mind it's going to take longer
Yeah.
to dehydrate.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to hold this so you can see it.
Okay.
I keep moving it. Let's see here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tricky doing this.
I was thinking I could use this for avocado toast. Of course, I wouldn't toast it, but you know how you make your smashed avocados? It would be great with soups, especially in the fall time when you make those delicious soups. Is that me or Jill that froze?
That was
Was that Jill that froze? Can you guys still hear me?
yes.
Okay, so that must have been Jill. Now her computer's her, yeah, it looked like whatever device she had, she lost the connection. Only says so she'll be coming back on. And I would want it a little thicker, but again, if you for the thicker bread, that you would have to dehydrate it longer. And then I think that as you're dehydrating it, you will be able to gauge when it's when it meets your satisfaction. And we
Um,
know, yeah. But she sent me this. Jill sent me several different things that she made. She made me a healthy granola. She sent me like 4 or 5 different things, and I only shared one thing with my husband. I didn't have to worry about the onion bread because he doesn't like onions. And I'm gonna tell you, the onion was delicious. It was better. I mean, I loved every bread that she sent, and they were more like flatbreads, but that onion bread, I tell you, it was it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious.
could you, I'm thinking, is it a consistency when it's done where you can roll it up and then cut it into like small, like little,
Wraps.
like little muffin type things, or you could do a wrap, or even layer it if you want a thicker bread, layer it
Okay,
like after partially dehydrate it and then like cut it in half and flip it over. Would that make it thicker, like to layer it?
let's ask Jill. Jill, did you hear that question? You're
Hmm.
on mute, by the way. Okay,
I
you're
am.
on mute. No, Jill
Oh,
is on mute. Jill is on mute. So Charlene, ask your question again as Jill comes off of mute.
We got
Okay.
disconnected.
Charlene has a question she wants to ask you, Jill. Go in and ask it
Oh,
again.
okay.
oh, okay. So when can you partially like dehydrate that and then put it in layers so that you can get a thicker bread and then put it back in and dehydrate it? Like, can you do it in stages? Like,
Um,
yeah, say I want to take that and cut it into 4 pieces after it's spread out. It's been in the dehydrator for a while. Then I want to start layering it to make it a thicker bread, like for sandwiches or something. Did I do that?
well, I think all you'd need to do is maybe take 2 pieces and put them together, and
Okay.
maybe something in between to hold them together, like avocado or whatever you're
Yeah,
putting on the inside.
that as you're making the actual bread itself, like it can stop the dehydration process with this.
Yeah,
You
And
I
look
she
think
at
was
like,
what you're asking me is, can you take it and then rehydrate it. I mean, dehydrate it some more after you've stacked them.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
layers.
yeah.
I mean, I suppose you could,
Okay.
but it will be a long process to dry that.
Long.
I mean, and it may get harder on the outside versus the inside. Um, because usually the idea with dehydrating is you get everything as flat as possible. And like Jackie said, you could add some to it originally and just make it a little thicker. That
Sure,
might be
yeah.
what you want to do too. And it will take longer to dehydrate. You have to remember that. Then anytime it's going to be thicker, it's going to take longer. So you have to like double the time for dehydration. Does
And
that
can
make
you
sense?
use? Yes, it does. I was just, just wondering if you put the dry side down. I was just trying to think. I'm always trying to figure out ways to make it thicker.
Well,
But
so this is how it looks right now.
it looks nice. Okay.
Now I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to score it.
Hmm.
See if I can do this all with holding this so you can see. Just drawing lines on it like this.
Hmm.
Maybe this isn't as neat as it would be if I were having it laying down, but for the sake
Yeah.
of showing everyone, so you get an idea. You can make them bigger, smaller, and then once they're dehydrated, you flip them over, and then you can take this sheet off. And an easy way to flip it over is if you've got these dehydrator sheets like this, is you take another one and you turn it upside down on top of it, and then you flip it.
Yeah.
So then after I get this done, I would put it in here. And you can put half the salt mixed in, and then the other half you can take and sprinkle on the top if you're doing it that way. But I put the whole teaspoon in there. So,
Yeah.
and then I would just fill this up with the trays, and then I would put this on here. And then there's a button back here where I just turn it, and I turn it to 115. You can hear it's not super loud, but I'm not going to run it right now because that's just more noise we don't need. I'm going to show you some that I just made. So let me get that for you so you can see that.
Okay. And yeah, you can experiment with the shining. That's what I do sometimes. I experiment.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Well, you can
But you,
try anything.
To make with-
but you think about
Okay.
this. That is inexpensive. I mean, no, there is show us, Jill. That is that okay, so that yeah. So that's more like a
But
flat.
this is a flatbread. If you want it thicker, I mean, like I said, you could just put one on top of each other like this, and you'll have
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you want to put something inside of it to hold it together.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
probably you don't necessarily have to do the drying process again. Just use them like they are, and make them as thick as you want. Make them as thick as you want them. There's three on top of each other. Yeah, and they're different sizes. You might want to use these more like crackers and use this one more like the bread.
Hmm.
And you can, of course, cut them any size you want them. Maybe you want a bigger slice.
Yeah. I was thinking that you could even use them for like a raw pizza,
Yes,
right?
you definitely could do that.
Yeah.
You could put it all out like we just did in here, and then you could cut a circle
Yeah. Yeah. And then
and
that
make it
could
all.
be yeah, you put all your pizza foods on it, and that would be good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the
that would
thing
be
about
really
yeah,
good actually.
yeah. The thing about raw, again, you have to consume it or freeze it within a certain length of time because it will spoil, just like any food. There's no preservatives to this. But the other thing I like about this, so you're looking at these are economical ways to make food, and these are some things, and it's easy. And once you start, I mean, this is what, how many ingredients? Three or four ingredients. And
Very
these are
simple.
yeah, very simple. And I like simple because simple, simple, people gonna be more bound to try something that is simple as something where there's a lot of ingredients. And
Mhm.
it could be used as to accompany your salads. to accompany your soups. You could use them for breakfast to put your and I don't know about the onion bread. I would probably put something else on my onion bread. But these
Yeah.
types of breads, you could put there's such a variety of things that you can do with them. And then too, another thing that you're teaching people is that we're so accustomed to those big chunks of bread that are high in calories, that's high
Mhm.
in a lot of stuff. But this is also showing us how to begin to eat naturally and normally again. A lot of times we consume too much. And I think that this also helps by having a bread like this. It helps offset because most breads are not even, it's not really even healthy to eat with meals just
Mhm.
because of, and most certainly the other breads, the like the white, the processed breads are not. Even the healthy processed breads are not because they're thicker, you get more calories, you look at how much fat you're getting in them. And even in looking at this recipe, I saw very little fat, if any. And if it was not added fat, it was the naturally occurring fat that would have been a part of the ingredient naturally, which our
Mhm.
body knows how to break down and process because it is natural, more of a natural type fat. And so I just see so many, if you want to make it a little, I was even thinking about it. I thought, yes, for that, I would do avocado. I would make my avocado or my, what is the other thing? Avocado or what is you take avocados and you make, oh, what is it? Did you make with the avocados?
Oh, you
Guacamole,
mean like guacamole?
Guacamole. Yeah,
guacamole.
the guacamole. The guacamole. Make
Guacamole,
me
yeah.
some good. I love guacamole.
I
Homemade
love
guacamole.
guacamole.
Yeah, I love homemade guacamole. Boy, you
Love
talking
it.
about
And hummus, I love hummus.
hummus. Yes.
Hummus,
I
yeah.
tell you, I have a sweet potato hummus. That would
You
be,
can make with zucchini hummus too.
yes, yes. Oh, good.
Or
Tasty.
tapenade. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Delicious.
Yeah.
That would be
And you
delicious.
can
Yeah.
sprout the garbanzo beans and make it raw too.
Yes. Yeah, I have done the sprouted garbanzo beans. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sprouting and then actually when you make it yourself in this capacity, you have sprouted your either your seed or your this is not a grain, I don't think it's considered a grain, your buckwheat or whatever you're using, and that increases the enzymes that you have probiotics in it because of you have a lot of probiotics. You have the natural occurring probiotics, which is really what you
Mm-hmm.
want is a natural occurring in your foods, prebiotics and probiotics. So good for the gut, it's good for the immune system, good for the health, and it's also just good that a lot of times bread is a big filler in food sometimes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
sometimes those big chunks of bread can add a little bit more it can make a meal more congested is the word I'm going to use, more congested. And so this way you're actually, to me, I see just the right balance. You can make it a little fluffier and still, I think, still have the right balance. But I think this is so, yeah, very good. So you're going to show us, let's see, what do you add to your bread, Jill?
You mean when I eat it?
Uh-huh. What do you add to it? Do you add anything with it, or how do
No,
you eat your?
I just eat it. Sometimes I eat it with guacamole or, avocado or something like that.
Okay.
But a lot of times I just eat it. I
Okay.
was going to say too, you could take this, what we've made here and make little bread rolls out of it too.
Well, how would you
If
make
you
the bread
wanted,
rolls?
if you wanted it thicker, just take a spoonful like this and you would put that like on the tray. I
Show us your
mean,
spoonful. Can you show it to us?
oh yeah, yeah, like the spoonful
Oh,
here.
okay. Uh-huh. So
Just take it. And I'll show you what I would do.
I think I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's gonna
This
be
would
like if
hold.
you were just making a biscuit, right? And you just put that, yeah.
Yeah, it actually would. If you're wanting something soft, though, I would say probably not raw. It would be you could bake it and well, I made a lot of biscuits like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I worked for a family that liked this type of biscuits, so I was making those. But I did dehydrate them some too, but the softer ones are baked.
Yeah, yeah,
It's still better than, it's still healthier than what you get in the store. But see, just like
right.
that, you could put them on the tray.
Yeah. And I think that's what you would want, Shawnee, is that if you wanted to make a roll, then you would make something similar to that. Maybe use as much
Yes.
of it as you wanted your roll, and then you would have to bake it probably. I think that's when
Mhm.
you would get the texture for that roll that you would want probably.
Yeah, and you can put it on tape, not Taflex, but parchment paper,
Yeah.
so that you don't have to add any oils or anything when you bake it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I can just use a ground buckwheat though, correct?
Oh, you mean like the flour?
Flour, yes.
Yeah, you could use the flour. I think it takes more. I think it would take more water. So just add a little bit of water to it till you get the right consistency.
Okay. 'Cause I have like the flour or like the big bag of flour of the
Mhm. Yeah, flour would take more water, I believe. So that's probably the main thing. You would have to add more
Yeah.
to get
to
that
get the right
consistency.
consistency.
So yeah. Okay.
But that's not a problem. Just keep adding until you get where you want, and then write down how much you use to so you
Yeah.
have the information for next time.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I so much just make things up as I go, and this was, like I said, a modified one. It was a recipe that I had from a friend originally,
Yeah.
and I did a few different things to it. I don't think she used sweet onions and cumin or anything like that, but and I know she didn't use buckwheat. She used sunflower seeds.
Yeah. But either would work, depending upon, and you want a variety. You're mixing up things. You know, this is a recipe that you could just resubstitute the main ingredient with something else, like the
Mhm.
sunflowers or even so. Yeah, so that's good. You may be
Mhm.
able to do it with quinoa.
That's just what I was going to say too. Yeah, quinoa probably would work nice with this. I haven't done it, but it probably
Yeah,
would.
yeah. And then with the
One thing,
quinoa, you're going to get more protein and a complete protein. So that's something to take in consideration too. Yeah.
yeah, I think buckwheat's a complete protein, isn't it?
I think it is. I think it is. I
Mm.
know that chia seeds is. I don't think
Yes,
flax seeds. I know chia seeds.
yeah, chia seeds, they are. Yeah, flaxseed, I'm not sure about that, but the buckwheat, I think it is. And it has a little more glutinous to it than the,
Yes, buckwheat is a complete protein. So there you go.
yeah.
There's your
So,
protein. Yeah.
yeah,
And
it's
a
a
complete
little bit
protein.
more gluey.
Yeah.
So it helps it stay together really well. You don't have to use quite as much of the flax if you don't want to
Yeah.
when you use buckwheat.
Yeah.
That's I like quinoa really well too. I like working with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
many of those little bread rolls you can make out of any of those different pseudo grains.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And you can take those bread rolls and make little hors d'oeuvres or those little finger sandwiches. It's
Mhm.
what, yeah.
Yeah, those are fun. The bread rolls. People like those because it kind of
Yeah.
reminds them of rolls like you eat. You know, we ate rolls so many times when I know
Yeah.
when I was younger, I did. We always had rolls for lunch.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's,
bread. Of course, that was not good rolls, but they tasted good to us at the time.
yeah. Are there any more questions for Jill?
Do you have the recipe somewhere or like
Um, I
it's
can,
a modifier, but like it's the basic. Um, I mean, I followed along, but I like to
mhm.
just have it.
Yeah, I
Some
can. I guess somehow I can send it to you, right, Jackie?
Yeah. Do you have it with you right now, Jill?
Well, the one I have, it's more for me where it has information on here that doesn't give a clear idea of how much. It does say everything I use, but it's like this. And I mean, I could
Okay.
probably do something a little better than that for you.
Yeah. Why don't you do that and just send it to me and I'll disseminate it to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it to everyone because I'll upload it to our Give Manna because we have a content page and I can give it to Sister Shanine and she can upload it to that content page. Well, I think the one thing that we're trying to do too is accumulate good healthy recipes that are easy to make, and alter with that where you can alternate ingredients so people can start making these, making your breads now, experimenting to get the texture that you like. Like you indicated, if you wanted to bake them, you could, for the
Mhm.
rolls. And it's because it's such a simple recipe, I do perceive that it's something that people would try. When first timers, when they see a whole list of recipes, especially if they have not cooked this way before, it intimidates them.
Yeah.
It can be intimidating. So getting it's a good thing. Here's a simple recipe, gluten-free, complete protein. It's healthy. Show them all the variations in which it can be used. And I do think that because it's simple, they're going to be more apt to try it. And the key is getting people to try things because once they try it, then they can, because if you know me, and I'm sure you're the same, I never ever I take a recipe, and when I get the recipe, when I get done cooking, it's nothing like the recipe typically, because I add my own little nuances to it, and I think
Yeah.
that, yeah, and once people start feeling comfortable with cooking in this manner, they'll start doing the same. Yeah.
You can use different spices. Maybe one time you want to use some oregano and make it
Yes.
go with something more Italian,
Right. Yes.
the
Yes.
cumin for the Mexican and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mediterranean, whatever, flavors you like, you can play around with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be good. So if you would, yeah, put it together with your and I'll put the nutrient profile together for it, um for both that and what I would like to do, I think, is keep this recipe as a complete protein because I think that that's really significant for people that to know that are trying to come off of animal products, that may even be deceived by animal products and protein, where some of those things, and I think it's a good way. It's a the complete protein for people to know that um you can obtain a complete protein and without diminishing your protein needs for your body's functionality. I think that is what is really that is going to be really and really really for children too. So that's a big incentive for them to use something like this. And hey, put some whatever your child likes. Make him some apple butter, your homemade apple butter. Put him on one of these, and so I think, yeah, I like it. I think it's going to be. I most certainly will use it, and I would take that recipe and publish it or give it to other people. Not publish it as my own, but I'll give it to other people as beginners. For beginners, I'll give it to
Mhm.
everyone, but I try to give beginners simple because they're going to be more apt to try simple. Only because they're intimidated when they see all these ingredients. I was okay, and because I'm changing how I normally cook, and you have to become even accustomed to that change, right? You're cooking differently. You don't
Mhm.
cook this type of food is going to be cooked differently. So a lot of your behaviors in cooking is going to change as you transition over to this. Yeah,
Mhm.
I
That's
think it's
true. It
yeah.
takes a different thought process.
Yes, it does. And something the key is getting them to try it and getting them to do it, but because once they start and they start seeing how easy it is, and it'll get better and faster each time. And that's the way it was for me. Boy, I remember it would take me forever. It seemed like I thought, oh, this just takes forever. But the only reason it was taking forever because I was unsure of myself or what I was doing. I had to think, I had to read. But now, boy, I just whip this stuff together, right? Pull out this food processor, dump, 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 edit
Yeah.
it. And that's from, and we have to also take those things into consideration as we're showing people change. We have to remember change itself. It's not just a change. Change affects my psyche that can affect my body. So we want to, in change, we want to take them from the least amount of impact to the body and the psyche, let them adjust. We want to do it in such a way that they try it, they don't feel intimidated. Then because once they try it, then they're going to do it again. And then before about two, oh, they're going to
Mhm.
be pros at it now, right? Because it's not just and understanding. They can understand the right things, but it's all of our emotions around trying new things. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. That anything else that you guys have to ask Jill? Anything else you want to
No.
add, Jill? Okay, good.
Mm,
Good.
mm.
They're ready to roll. They're ready to
All
do
right.
it.
All right. And
Now
I'll
it's,
bug you for that
it's
recipe, Jill, till you send it to me.
Oh yeah, because I want that.
Yeah.
thank you,
And I'll,
Jill. That's very nice.
yeah, it's good. Well, all right. And I'm gonna tell you, a taste of manna. Awesome. When I thought of the title, A Taste of Manna,
Mm.
I thought of heavenly food. I thought of food back in the beginning of the garden. Raw, because there was no appliances to cook anything with. It was eaten right out of the garden. And so and then because it was eaten right out, and so this when I think of a taste of manna, it takes me back to the beginning where man's total nutritional needs for their body was in the garden. It wasn't through animal products. It was all in the garden. I don't even know that they had a lot of seasonings, but it was in the garden. And the
Mhm.
garden was created to provide all of our functional needs for us mentally, for us emotionally, for our physical growth, for development of our bodies, for our through the various life cycles, even. Developing mom to be breastfeeding her little one and providing all the nutritional value from the naturally occurring milk in mom's breast for the little one. And also we're getting back to the simplicity of foods. Sometimes we can be so fancy that can be intimidating, sometimes to people, but you can make it taste good without all the fanciness, without all the umpteenth. And when I'm talking about all these various different ingredients, and then when I also think about a taste of manna, is that I want my food as nearly as it can be in the original form in which it was created, because I know only then will I be able to will that food be able to provide me with the nutritional quality as well as quantity. Almost, I didn't say 100%, almost. Probably this is going to be the closest method to
Mm.
as I received in the body. So learning again, going back to Eden and learning how to love these foods, acquiring a natural palate for the sweetness of just fruit, a natural palate for how raw vegetables taste. If I
Mhm.
just dip them in my hummus, and getting rid of how our palates have deteriorated over time through the sweetness and adding sugars and over, how those we all know what I'm talking about. And then because once we get to those sweetness levels, it requires detoxification, or elimination processes to reverse the palate. And once we reverse the palate back to natural, we will be able to enjoy the natural flavors of our
Mhm.
foods. And we will find that they're sweet, as the Bible said, they're sweet, they're delectable, they're wonderful. And we'll find that this tastes better. I don't need, yeah, it's just, it's going to be wonderful. So that was kind of taste of manna. Let's taste what manna really tastes like. I know in the garden, in heaven, we're all going to have gardens, right? And so, can you imagine what kind of foods, Jill, you're going to have in your garden? We'll come visit you, Jill. Then we're gonna go visit Shani and Denise. We're gonna see what they're growing in their garden that day, and we're gonna do some exchanging. Maybe we'll do some bartering. Okay, Jill, you give me some of those. If you give me some of those onion bread, I'm gonna share this I grown fresh this morning. Taken out of the garden fresh this morning. It's gonna be wonderful. So I
Yeah,
can eat.
we're gonna have things we've never had before.
Yes, I know that
It's
I
really
can't wait. And new
even
fruit every month, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yes.
I look
Yeah.
forward to that. I love
I do
fruit.
too. Yes.
you
Yeah,
see things we've never seen.
Yeah. Amen.
yeah.
It's gonna be
I
wonderful.
don't
It's gonna
think
be
we can't even imagine
I
I
know.
know.
I know.
it. I
I know.
like to think about it though.
I do
Me too.
too. Yeah.
Good to think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Did you get a
All
copy
right.
of the classes, Heaven's Diary?
Huh?
Has Jill seen Heaven's Diary?
We haven't. I'm gonna have the center one. I'll send her the video one. Let her listen to it. Yeah.
Heaven's
She has.
Diary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pastor wrote it's called Heaven's Diary. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I haven't heard
It's
that.
no. It's imagining heaven, right? Thinking of heaven. So yeah, I have to send it to you. He did several of them, but I can find them on YouTube. I'll send you a couple of those videos you can just kind of listen to. It's good that we should think about heaven sometimes because that's our home. That's where
We
we're
should
going.
be.
Yeah.
It's an ultimate
Imagine.
destination.
Yes, that's
If,
right.
if we went on a vacation, we would research before we go. You think we do the same thing with heaven?
You think so, right? And you're right, I do too. The very first thing I do, okay, what's the closest healthy restaurant? What they are? I even go as far as show me your menu, and I want to see what
That's
they're made.
right.
And then if I can't get a clear picture, I'm going to call the restaurant, right? Hey, I'm going to be in that area, and I explain, what my lifestyle choices are from a dietary perspective. And I saw this. Do you do this? Do you do that? And I hear about, okay, what are some of the things you add to your foods? So yes, we do. We do all this research so that
Yeah,
when we get there, we'll know exactly. And we should be doing the same thing. Yeah, you're right. I
that's
agree.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jill. This has been beautiful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this, and I will share it. We will share it with others. Thank you for the time that you've taken, and we look forward to that recipe that we will share with everyone. And as we share the recipe with everyone, we'll also share the link to this video on YouTube. It is on YouTube, so you can also share it with people within your circle, Jill. And
Sure.
I'll go out and get you that YouTube. I'll get you the link and I'll send it to you in text, so you just be able to share it with people. Hey, go out and check my YouTube video, on cooking the onion bread. Yeah.
Sure.
Listen, guys, Jill sent me onion bread. It was several. It was like 4 or 5. And I'm gonna tell you, I was not sharing with anyone. Then I did
That
let Danny,
onion,
huh?
that onion bread is addictive.
Oh, it is.
I
Oh, I have
mean,
to
it's
take.
really good.
It's my
Yeah.
weakness. Oh, so this is perfect for me because, like you said, it's thinner actually, so you don't really need it as thick. And I love onions, and I have like bags of
So you'll
Padilla,
like this.
Padilla onions right now. So I'm gonna be whipping some of that up.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
My only question is, how can I do it without doing the dehydrator? I mean, I watched it. I've watched some of it. I'm sorry, I was blow drying my hair for a little bit, but can you make that? How can I make that in the oven?
You can bake it, yeah. You
Air
just,
fry, convectional, regular?
Just a regular oven. I
yeah,
can.
I would, yeah,
Okay.
just
You
put it,
know,
like I
right?
said, put it on parchment paper on a tray and just put it in your oven and it's gonna maybe cook up really fast, maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you
So
want to
should I
keep
do it on a low temperature or?
I
that
would do
my
it on a lower temperature, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
to keep it,
awesome.
it has to be at what temperature again? You said
Well, in order for it to be raw, it can't be any higher than 118 degrees. If you're gonna bake it, obviously you're not gonna be worried about the raw at the time.
right,
Right.
I
right.
mean, you can start with baking these first and then get used to it. And then as you do that, you'll
Yeah.
start gradually getting into the dehydrating. If
Yeah.
it's easier for you, you may not even have a dehydrator yet.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't have one yet, so that's why I was
Right.
wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can start with baking it.
Yeah.
A
Okay,
lot,
awesome.
a
Yeah.
lot of
And
the
I've even
have a
taken one recipe similar, especially with buckwheat and flax and the flax meal, your flax grounded. And I use my parchment paper and I actually put it in a bread pan and cooked it for about 300, maybe anywhere between, probably at 300 until it was done even. And then take it out, let it cool, and then I slice it. And
Mhm.
that I would take half of it because I'll try to the other half I'm gonna freeze because if it's just me eating it, I don't want it to ruin because I may not eat that much of it in that week. So I'll freeze half of it. That way I have a good go-to me. So and I'll yeah. So I have done that
Yeah.
using quinoa bread. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that before too. And I've even, if it's taking too long for it to dehydrate or not dehydrate, but when you're cooking it to get it, inside cooked enough, you can slice it and then lay it down and cook it that way too, like each slice.
Yeah. And remember your little muffins, your little biscuits. I think that you can use those little bitty muffin pans.
Mhm.
If they have the little, put some little, you may be able to buy parchment paper muffin cups. Have I seen that? I know that there's another type of cup that you can get. I don't know about the parchment paper
Mhm.
that you could put in your muffin pan. Those I've used those too, and I've used that with almond flour. And I know this is a higher consistency. And they came out, I'm
Mhm.
gonna tell you, my little and I thought, and I made some cupcakes. They were little muffins. They weren't cupcakes, they were muffins. And I made them with I think I used almond flour, I used a seed butter and
Mhm.
something else. And I don't remember what, but I may have used a little maple syrup. And so my little granddaughter, and I know Haven was under, but anyway, little granddaughter tore those. I said, and I asked her, I said, she liked them? Yes. She would tear those little muffins up. I said,
Yeah, the
yeah.
almond flour is always really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you
So
probably
try
put the
to,
maple syrup in it, yeah.
yeah. I didn't do a lot of the maple syrup. I did a little bit, but they weren't overly sweet. And she
Uh-huh.
loved them. Yeah, she loved them. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
good. Yeah. She loved those muffins.
Yeah, you can once you start playing around with this, you just need a few ingredients and you just start mixing them together and
Yeah.
heat them up and
Yep.
bake them or dehydrate them or
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
made so many different kinds of little like those little biscuits. I was
Yeah, the little biscuits is what she called them. Yeah, those little biscuits, Denise, would be good in the oven. Yeah, be a little good. Yeah,
I'm gonna try that.
yeah, and I don't know, but I made one that I use oat flour. I use oat flour, oat bananas, apple unsweetened applesauce instead of oil. But I'm gonna tell you, and I just took one out at a time. I froze them, and I took one at a time, but they were thin enough that I have a one of those toasters. Boy, the texture was awesome. Pulled them out of the freezer, put them in my toaster, and it was the texture was still good. So just experiment. Yeah, just experiment with them. I think
yeah.
you're gonna have some good success. All right, guys, thank you so much. And Shani and Denise, if you guys want the link to this, you can always go out and get the link yourself. And share it with others, this recipe, the demonstration, our talk about it. And then once I get so Jill, if you send me the recipe, I'll add the nutritional profile because I want to be able to add the protein benefit. That is a complete protein when you use the buckwheat
Mhm.
flour or quinoa if you want to alternate it with the quinoa. So I'll add the nutritional profile to it, and but yeah, and then we'll share that with others that
Mhm.
that
And sunflower seeds are high in protein too.
yes, they are high in protein. Yep, yep,
So
and
whatever way you try it.
yes, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Jill. You have a good evening. I know there in California it's just 6:15.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah,
so
good
much.
night, everyone.
Yes,
Good
good
night.
night, everyone. See you next time.
All
Okay.
right, everyone have a good night.